In this video, you will learn how to test for phosphate in water. Phosphate, PO4 is released into the water partly by natural sources, such as decomposition, human and animal waste, and phosphorus-rich bedrock. The nutrient is typically scarce in water. However, excessive amounts are often released into water by human activity, such as discharge from wastewater treatment. Phosphate is crucial to plant growth. Thus, it is also a common nutrient found in fertilizer, but an excessive amount in water can lead to eutrophication. It's also the limiting nutrient in fresh water, meaning relatively small amounts can cause excessive plant growth. In this video, you will learn how to test for phosphate in water using the Hanna Instruments Phosphate Test Kit.
So first, let's just do a quick rundown of the phosphate test kit and how it works. It has 3 parts: the plastic vessel, phosphate reagent, and color comparator cube. What I'm going to do on site is take off the lid, rinse the plastic vessel out a few times with the sample, and fill it up to the 10 milliliter line. Then I'll pour in the phosphate reagent, put on the lid, and swirl it around for 30 seconds. This causes a colorimetric reaction based on how much phosphate is in the water. The more phosphate there is, the deeper the shade of blue the sample will be. Finally, I'm going to pour the sample into the color comparator cube and compare the shade of blue of the sample to the different shades on the cube. The shade it matches up with will tell me the milligrams per liter of phosphate in the sample, which is the same as the parts per million. Also, I'll be bringing along a cup to collect the waste from this test. Let's try it out. I'm here at Abers Creek, and today we'll be testing upstream and downstream of Franklin Township Municipal Sanitary Authority. And we'll be looking for a phosphate discharge from this wastewater treatment plant to see if the discharge that it's letting off into Abers Creek is acceptable or not. We're here upstream of the wastewater treatment plant and we're ready to do the phosphate test. Let's do it. Rinse that out 3 times. I'm going to fill that up to the 10 milliliter mark, so let me dump some of that out. There we go. And now, going to pour in the phosphate reagent. Make sure to get all of that in there. Okay. Now let me get the cap on without dropping it. And now I'm just gonna stir this around here for the required 30 seconds. As you can see here, we now have a slight blue tint. And I'm gonna pour this into the comparator cube and let's see what we got. Okay. Try and get a good shot of that there. Okay, with this, it is not a very deep shade of blue. I would say that's about a 1. I managed to get some pretty neat footage of a deer on my way to the next testing site. Okay, right now we're downstream of the wastewater treatment plant and I'm ready to take a sample. Let's take a look, see if there's any more phosphates in the water than upstream. Now we're going to go to the 10 mil line. There we go, perfect. Alright, let's put in our phosphate reagent. Okay, I'm going to throw the cap back on. Alright, let's give this the 30 seconds. Alright, it has been 30 seconds. Let's pour this in here. I'm actually gonna... Wow, already I can tell that we're downstream. Look at that. Look at how much darker that is. That's crazy. Alright, let's get the rest of this in here. You can get a look at that in that comparison chart. This is a lot darker than the last test we did upstream. Let's say maybe a 2 or a 3 on there.
Once the concentration of phosphate is found, it can then be recorded. Typically, concentrations below 0.1 parts per million will not have an effect on aquatic environments.